next topic.
Yeah. Um. Again, we spoke a lot about climate, related things about climate change. But I think we also have a duty to speak about the flip side of things, because climate anxiety is also very real. So this is a um, report from The Guardian, which says climate anxiety was consuming me, and then I learned to laugh about it. Climate anxiety from researching existential threats that led Emily Strasser to enroll in stand up comedy classes. Oh, you can get stand up comedy classes. I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Very good. She developed, quote, sustainable stand up, unquote, a course teaching social and economical environmental professionals to communicate serious messages through humor. The program has trained NASA scientists, lawyers, activists, and humanitarian workers internationally. Research supports this approach. Laughter provides health benefits, while comedy training helps people reframe difficult experiences, strengthen social bonds, and build confidence. Evidence suggests that learning comedy benefits mental health. The UK's National Health Service now offers comedy as a mental health intervention through its social prescribing program. Wow. Referring patients to creative and social activities supporting overall well being. In facing collective, political, and planetary challenges, humor and resilience through comedy offers a valuable coping mechanism. Now, while we understand, and Meghna, I would want to hear your thoughts. But while we understand that, it can be a lot of things that we often keep saying, and shows like us, keep feeding you. Um, I don't know if laughter and reframing it in a lighter way could be the solution.
It definitely could be, see, because there are different kind of audiences. Now there are people who absolutely love to, hear and talk about environment like we do. Like, oh, we really need to talk about it. We need to discuss about it. This is what's happening in the world. The world is burning. Now that's one way to see it. But then if there are people out there, like a stand-up comedian who is there on the stage, there are people who don't know what's happening in the environment, don't care about what's happening in the environment. For those people, especially who are unaware, it's a great way to get them slowly into this space through humor. Because even though it's humor, you know that you're talking about really, real things. A lot of stand-up comedians use humor
Mm.
to kind of deflate situations. So they're talking about the same situation, it's the same serious situation. Let it be, like, let's say if they're talking about something political, they're talking about something else. It's all serious things, but they just try to make it light by adding humor into it, but they're still sending the message across very, very strongly. So I think that is a good way if you're catering to the audience who is not very, very climate aware.
Mm. So, you're saying that is a good perspective that I did not have, for 2 minutes earlier. So, just hammering the message, but in a light form, it might take a little bit longer, but then the message slowly starts seeping in.
It is like, how the green humor guy, the
Mm,
Rohan Chakravarti. So he makes all these images that are funny, but
mm,
he talks about really serious topics and really serious changes that are happening across the world. But he uses his humor to sarcastically quote these changes, and that it really
mm.
works because he's known across for his comics, especially for the satire.
Internationally, yeah.
Yeah, so humor does work, and stand-up comedians have their own fan following, and it's great if they can send like environmental messages out, because it's the same thing. Like, you look after an idol or a hero, and this is one way. And climate anxiety is real. Like, I think I told Oops that there was a time when I felt like no matter what I did, how much I did, it was never enough. So it is very easy to go down this rabbit hole where you feel like what else can I do? Why am I doing so less? Why am I such a failure in saving the climate? And you need things to take you away from that. So either mentally you become stronger, that okay, I can do whatever I can, and everything else will fall in place if it has to, or when it does. Or the other way is to laugh about it, which they are doing. So if they are making people laugh about it, they're laughing about it themselves, even though they care about the environment so much. Um, it is a way to kind of relieve your stress, but also make sure you're passing on that message.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, because I started with the idea of maybe, you know, commodifying it, the message loses its potential, but that is not the goal. The potential is not the goal, but the message seeping into a person is the goal. So I think, yeah,
Yeah,
I
and I think the way you're making something funny is also in a way that you're not taking away from the message, like how green humor doesn't take away from the message. She in fact
right.
instills it harder by
Hmm.
using satire, so
Hmm.
or sarcasm. So that is a way that these comedians are also using. So when they make fun of the government, or when they make fun of our efforts for the environment, they're actually mocking, and they want you to do better. So it's a way to instill the message for the masses to move. So it can be serious or comedy, but as long as that message is actually going to the masses, it's going to do something about it, like it will have an impact.
Hmm. Hmm. That's a great way, actually. Hmm.
Yeah,
And people
plus
can be surprised. They're going to comedy show, but they also get like a side of climate awareness.
true.
Yeah.
And you know what happens, like when we talk about serious things, you need to be like in a frame of mind to talk about serious stuff. Like you don't just sit down with friends and be like, oh, let's talk about climate change, or let's talk about how the earth is burning. You reach those topics sometimes, and you rather avoid them because you don't want to like talk about serious topics. But with jokes, they linger in your head for a long time, and you go and you retell jokes. So the retelling quotient is higher in jokes than with serious stories. So then these jokes that are retold again and again and again, then they have a higher reach and a broader reach, and that can actually impact more people.
Mm, mm. Absolutely true. So again, I think if you're a comedian, um, you can enroll to you know
This
this
program, yeah.
this program actually, and yeah, maybe include some humor and some messaging into your comedic routines, and you might find new types of routines or new things to do with you if you're going through a writer's block or something like that. So yeah, it's great.